This Korean backyard trick replaces fertilizer forever, and it starts with one simple decision. Before we go any further, make sure you subscribe to Garden Wisdom, leave a comment telling me what you grow, and share this with one gardener who's tired of buying fertilizer every season. What I'm about to show you isn't theory, it isn't trendy gardening talk, and it definitely isn't something big agriculture wants you relying on. Korean farmers have used this backyard method for generations to grow dense, nutrient-rich crops without synthetic fertilizer. And once you understand how it works, you'll never look at store-bought feeds the same way again. This method comes from Korean natural farming and works with plants instead of feeding them chemicals. At the heart of this technique is fermented plant juice, often called FPJ, a living liquid fertilizer made by fermenting fast-growing local plants with sugar. The goal isn't to add nutrients from outside sources, but to recycle what nature already perfected. Fast-growing plants like sweet potato vines, pumpkin tips, banana stems, comfrey, or even young weeds already contain the growth hormones, enzymes, and minerals your garden crops need. When you ferment them correctly, those compounds become immediately available to your soil microbes and plant roots. Choosing the right plant material determines how powerful your fertilizer becomes. Always harvest young, vigorous growth early in the morning when plant sap pressure is highest. Avoid woody or mature plants because they've already shifted their energy towards survival rather than growth. If you're growing leafy greens, use fast leaf producers like pumpkin tips or amaranth. For fruiting crops such as tomatoes and peppers, banana stems and papaya leaves work extremely well. The key rule Korean farmers follow is using plants that thrive in your local climate because those plants already understand your soil, weather, and microbial life. The fermentation process is simple, but precision is what makes it work long-term. First, chop your plant material into small pieces and weigh it. You then mix it with an equal weight of brown sugar or jaggery at a 1-to-1 ratio. For example, if you harvest 1 kilogram of pumpkin tips, you mix it with 1 kilogram of sugar. Massage the sugar into the plant material until moisture begins to release, then pack it loosely into a non-metal container. Cover it with breathable cloth and store it in a shaded area at room temperature. Within 2 to 5 days, liquid will collect at the bottom as fermentation begins. After 7 days, strain out the liquid and store it in a sealed bottle away from direct sunlight. This fermented juice replaces fertilizer because it feeds soil biology, not just plants. Synthetic fertilizers push nutrients into plants whether the soil is alive or not. This fermented plant juice does the opposite. It feeds beneficial microbes, fungi, and bacteria that unlock nutrients already trapped in your soil. That's why gardeners who switch to this method notice stronger roots, thicker stems, and deeper leaf color within weeks. The soil improves season after season instead of degrading, which is something bottled fertilizers can never achieve. Correct dilution is what turns this into a forever solution instead of a short-term boost. This concentrate is powerful and must always be diluted. For general garden use, mix 1 tablespoon of fermented plant juice into 4 liters of water. Apply it directly to the soil around plants once every 7 to 10 days during active growth. For leafy greens, you can increase frequency to once every 5 days. For fruiting crops, reduce application once flowers appear, switching to once every 2 weeks to avoid excessive vegetative growth. So real garden examples really prove why this can replace fertilizer permanently. When applied to tomatoes, gardeners consistently notice thicker main stems within about 2 weeks. And, there are fewer signs of nutrient stress during fruiting. In maize and corn, the plants develop deeper green leaves, and importantly, there's no sign of nitrogen burn. Leafy vegetables, such as spinach and kale, show faster regrowth after harvest, all because the natural growth hormones remain active in the soil. Even depleted soils respond, since the fermentation introduces enzymes that actually restart biological activity rather than just masking deficiencies. This method works best when you stop fighting nature and let cycles complete. Korean farmers don't rotate products, they rotate plant materials. One season you might ferment pumpkin tips, another season banana stems, and another fast weeds growing nearby. This diversity feeds a wide range of microbes and prevents nutrient imbalance. Over time, your soil becomes self-regulating, requiring less input each year. That's the part industrial agriculture cannot profit from, because once your soil is alive, you stop buying fertilizer entirely. Common mistakes are why some gardeners fail and assume it doesn't work. Using chlorinated water kills microbes, so always let tap water sit for at least 24 hours before mixing. Applying undiluted juice burns roots and creates imbalance. Using mature or diseased plant material weakens the fermentation. This method is simple, but it demands respect for biology, timing, and ratios. When done correctly, results are consistent and repeatable across climates. This is why serious gardeners quietly abandon chemical fertilizer after learning this. Once your soil biology is restored, plants regulate their own nutrient uptake, pests decrease naturally, and yields stabilize instead of swinging wildly each season. You're no longer dependent on price hikes, shortages, or marketing claims. You're working with the same principles Korean farmers used long before fertilizer factories existed. If this guide helped you, subscribe to Garden Wisdom for serious, proven gardening knowledge. Share this with someone still buying fertilizer out of habit, and comment below with the crops you want to improve this season. This is how we grow smarter, stronger gardens together.